Alrighty, bienvenido mi gente. ¿Cómo están? How you doing? Welcome back to another episode. You're joined once again with Shawn. Soy el hombre, el rey del CRM, OrbisX. And we're joined with Marshall from the Pints and Publishing Podcast. Welcome back. How you doing?
So when you do your Spanish, do you envision like a certain person while you're speaking?
I
Because
definitely, I
your
definitely,
tone changes big. Like you really try and throw that accent in there.
I have
It's like,
a
are you gonna
person.
try and be
Yeah.
like on the Mexican soap operas that you see? You
Ah,
know,
sí,
they're
un
so
poquito,
cheesy.
estoy
And
aprendiendo
oh, that's
todavía. Yeah, it's a lot more suave. Usually I put the hat backwards and then no, yeah, that's funny. It's funny. I wonder how I sound sometimes when I go to certain countries because we travel quite a bit and often we find ourselves in a predominantly Spanish speaking country. So where we used to live, we were right next to Venezuela, and obviously the Spanish you speak different regions is different. But a lot of the Mexican words, a lot of the Spanish words I know are Mexican in origin, or things like that. Like if I'm like, oh, that's cool, I'm like, oh, que chido or something. That's not something they say outside of Mexico. But I learned a lot of my Spanish from the Venezuelans that I hired. So it was, I don't know, that was one of them. But yeah, I definitely, yeah, fully changed. But I mean, the rum helps. But
well, yeah, rum definitely helps.
yeah, rum
Yeah,
will definitely
but you
help.
do
Yeah,
like to throw that accent on there, absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
So speaking of Spanish, speaking of Mexico,
Uh huh.
got
Man.
an update. The journey of the crazy uncle.
Oh yeah, the uncle. Yeah, what's going on with the bicycle?
He's made it to Mexico.
No way. That's incredible. He doesn't have a
And
passport though, right?
and yesterday I
Or he was a
go,
Brazilian one, I guess.
yeah. I mean, I'm
Okay.
sure he's carrying
Okay.
but
Something.
apparently, I mean, and I don't have his Facebook. And listen, I'm not gonna go try and find it, and I'm not gonna share it.
I
So
wish he had like an air tag in his backpack. We could just
yeah,
drive
me
on
too.
the
It'd be
journey.
funny. But I think maybe she's gonna send him money, and once she sends him money, maybe I can then go, hey, what's that? What's his Facebook? And then I'll send it to you, and then we can all go follow it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. And just see the journey.
he
He
showed a
posted
video. She was
updates,
showing
right?
me a video of like he's in Mexico, and he was talking about how they wash their dishes, and he was
Okay.
showing this video right because I don't know where. I mean, it's a dude on a bike. He's just figuring out how to get through. I don't know, like is it a hostel or something?
That's funny.
But it was showing the dishes in these different sinks,
Okay,
and
good.
and they were talking about it. Well, we would never do this. When it was like,
Yeah.
wait, I said, hold on a second. So he's in Mexico. Is anybody talking about the flight home yet? I mean, have y'all figured this out yet? She looks at me like,
Holy shit.
no, I mean, he's coming here to live.
If like forever, para siempre. That's it.
Like, y'all didn't bring this up. This was never a discussion point until this exact moment.
Man, that's
I
crazy.
thought he was just
That's how
on
you
this,
found
like, hey,
out.
I'm
Was
going to
basically,
America.
I
Like,
thought he was coming to visit. That's what I thought.
that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Like, no, he's really going to try and do it. The air tag is true. I really do want to send him one because he's
yeah.
not going to be able to just walk across the border.
No,
I
definitely
really don't
not.
think so. I really
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
So he's going to have to do, and listen, there's plenty of I love, and I had one of the sales guys. It's a big company called Barentz. He came in late last week, took me to lunch, right? One of those, and I was like, hey man, I really love, I used to be sales guy too. And I
yeah.
really, used to go take people lunch and all stuff. Like, this is great. Like, cool. I get to be on the other side. So I say, hey man, where do you want to go? He goes, Tex-Mex. Go, perfect. I don't ever get to eat Tex-Mex ever.
Yeah, yeah.
They have a real distaste for
Oh shit,
the
no way.
food, the people, like, so like seeing him do that, and then like I
Yeah, yeah.
really want to know how he's going to get across. Like,
Mhm.
where's he going to cross through? What's he going to do? Because I'm telling you, but I say it jokingly, like I used to eat a lot of Mexican food. There was actually when I was a mobile detailer, there was and it's still there. It's called El Tequila. It was about half a mile from the house that I was renting. And when they opened, they had $1.99 dinners and 99-cent margaritas,
Beautiful. Perfect combination.
free chips and salsa. You could get some enchiladas and rice and beans for $1.99 and a
Man,
margarita for 99 cents. Now, after a couple months, it went up, right? Then it was like two
for
ninety
sure.
nine, right? Like,
But still,
but dude, right? Where was I 4 nights out of the week?
absolutely.
Like, it was the best. So you would get to know the guys, and
Yeah.
then suddenly they were gone. And
Yeah.
then a month later, they reappeared, and right, you'd be like, "Hey, where'd you get?" Like, and I would talk to them about where they cross, how they would get through. So
Yeah.
it's interesting, right? As people want, and it is a big political moment
For sure.
where one side is pushing about, the border, and I'm like, yeah, talk to people that are around here. I mean, we just know that they go back and forth. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
so I'm really interested to see where he crosses, what happens, how simple it is, or maybe he gets in. You've seen those Texans on horses that lasso people, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he's the guy that gets lassoed. I don't know, but he's on Facebook showing everybody what he's doing. I mean, it's
Man, that's wild. Yeah, I've seen like both sides of the spectrum. There's like even you see the people that they're like in the desert and they're hiding, they have like just a couple water jugs or something, and then
mhm.
border patrols out there looking for them, helicopters, all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. Like it's and then there's the other side of things where people are jumping on the back of trains and then just trying to get across, and some of them make it, some of them don't, and it's wild, man. Yeah, it's but
But
without
apparently we're going to send them money.
yeah. I think he needs a plane ticket, but so the bicycle is still fully functioning. Everything's wow. That I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty impressive.
Mhm.
That is wow. Like man,
He's in Mexico.
that distance,
Like,
that's
he's on his way. Like,
wild. He's on his way. He's a man on a
dude, I gave her
mission.
crap all weekend. Like,
Yeah, it's like
I was laying on the couch and I was petting my dog, and I was like, I'm just just realized there's gonna be another man laying on this couch in about 2 weeks. He's not gonna
yeah,
speak English. It's gonna be Portuguese. And I was, she,
yeah,
stop it, stop. Like, oh,
yeah,
he's gonna be here. Like,
yeah. He's coming. He's a man on
he's
a mission.
coming. Like,
You know what? I will say though, the sheer, like, tenacity, like, the sheer drive, determination, everything, that's wild, man. Like, most people wouldn't
well,
even get up to walk to the refrigerator, you know what I mean?
he's
Like,
on his bike coming to
he's like
America.
yeah, that's wild, man. Holy so, what was he like, what did he do back home? Does he have, like,
Dude, I don't know. I don't know anything about him.
oh,
Uh,
okay, yeah, yeah.
she
So
just says he's crazy. I'm like, yeah, I could see that. Like,
great. So, the parts you do know, okay, so
yeah,
he's great.
I think he's like drink party crazy. Like,
Oh,
he's a dude that hops on a bike and goes to.
that's true. I mean, who else would hop on a yeah, like it's and just yeah, that's a journey, man. That is man, if he's
So if
documenting
I
it,
get
man,
to have beers with him, I'll let you know
yeah,
what
yeah,
he
please do.
did back home.
Please do awesome. Whatever he did, he must have biked a lot. Jeez, that's crazy. Because just to undertake that, if you weren't someone that cycles a lot, you'd be like, I'm not doing that. That's nuts. But if you cycle a lot, you're like, oh yeah, I could do that. Like maybe I could
So do
see.
you train? I guess you train for the big trip, huh?
Yeah, the big trip. You'd almost have to, like at least a couple months of, you
He
know.
trained his beer drinking, I guess, for that first 2 weeks, right? Like,
Damn, yeah, yeah, that's it.
ran out of money.
Yeah, ran out of money. Holy, yeah, that's true. So he must be getting funded from other family or something. Like,
Has to something.
yeah, something. Maybe odd jobs in Mexico or something. I don't know. That's man, that's
20 bucks, 20 bucks.
20 bucks, 20 bucks. And on this week's episode of Just the Tip, so Jesus, man, that's crazy, man. Jeez, when's the last? Do you bike often or ever? Or
I used to. Actually, it
yeah.
was my form of exercise. And as my body's starting to, I've got new muscle right back here is the best, right at the core of my neck.
Hmm.
And actually, this, it's coming in here too, which is
Uh,
wonderful. The more that comes in, the more that first part of the pain goes away, and then I can go through the rest of my body. I'm
Beauty.
soon, man. I'm soon. I'm moving around. I'm soon be able to get back on a bike. We have a place here called Turkey Mountain. Now you go, hey, it's Oklahoma. There's not mountains. I go, we do actually have the world's highest hill. It's in Poto.
Huh.
Poto, Oklahoma has the world's highest hill.
Okay.
Turkey Mountain's not as high as the world's highest hill, I don't think, but maybe it is. Maybe it's like 2 feet taller, and that's why it has to be called a mountain. I'm not sure, but
Probably a threshold.
they
Yeah.
it's become a place. The more as we put up stuff in our river, they dammed up our river, and it's a big attraction now. We have this big place there where it's this huge park, and so this Turkey Mountain area was where I used to bike, but now they've really dumped. I mean, literally a lot of money in it. But instead of gravel, I've got concrete. I mean, there's windies. I mean, people from
Oh,
around the states and the areas come in to bike now. It's REI is going in right down below it.
damn. Man,
So our REI store opens up sometimes this fall. So yeah,
oh,
we have a really good mountain biking place here, and this gosh, man, I hope maybe this fall, maybe I can at least get back out on the bike
that's
sometime.
amazing, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's absolutely amazing. Like anyone that's gone through any kind of physio or recovery for of any kind of sorts, that kind of progress, it really is amazing.
it takes a long time.
It
Yeah.
does, yeah. I mean, I've had two, I'd say like substantial injuries in my life that led me to things like that. And one was I was working out and I pinched my back and I pushed through and I
Mhm.
shouldn't have. I felt a pinch, I pushed through. Have I ever told you this story?
No, but that's kind of what happened. Like
Oh
the
man.
main core of why it started was I was training
Mm.
for half marathons, and I felt a
Okay.
pinch, and I
Yeah.
kept going
Kept
through,
going. Yeah.
and
Now
then
if
I
I
couldn't
feel a
barely
pinch of
walk.
anything,
Yeah.
right away. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Because it's man,
yeah.
it was like 2.5 year journey. Part of it was just the time it takes to recover from a back injury, but the other part was we went into I was starting to feel a little bit better. Went to the Caribbean. I wanted to see the tallest waterfall, so we went to Samana in Dominican Republic. Took a horse up this mountainside 2.5 hours, and it was just cloppity clop up this mountainside with rocks and stuff. The horse hit this one part of the mountain with my knee, but the horse didn't care and it just kept going. And I was like, oh. And so I'm looking down to my left. It's like a 250-foot drop just to nothingness. So I had to just absorb the pain. And I twisted a little bit funny and I went right back to ground zero before the physio, before everything. My wife had to help me out of bed. It was a problem. And then anyway, that was so I learned my lesson, like just stick to the physio, go through it. But I saw how long it takes. Even with the physio, it was 2.5 years until I would say 90%. And then, it was only a couple months and I got the other 10, but man, it's a lot. So that's where me and my older age now, like I used to box, I got rid of my punching bags. I still train, I still shadow box, things like that. But I was like, I can shadow box and still practice my fundamentals, get my cardio in. I don't have to physically hit something and just cause repetitive damage to my knuckles, my hands, my wrist. Like, I'm not training for a fight. Like, why am I, So so I got rid of that. And I tell you, it felt so good to not have that because I have arthritis in my hands. And then they're also kind of just mash. That's as straight as they go. So like this one, we always we'll push it and it just bounces back. They look funny. It's fine. But I make for it up top, but yeah, it was one of those things. It was boxing injuries and then exacerbated with, hitting the bag and stuff like that. So yeah, it's injuries, man. But that's where getting older, you got to plan for things, you got to prepare.
Well, what you definitely got to do is realize, hey, if I'm in business, I'm in business.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need some muscle. I need some tone. I need some physical activity. Absolutely. But listen, I didn't need to be
Like,
trying to do that. And I
yeah.
definitely didn't need to be pushing through stuff. And unfortunately that's, so that was 2013.
Okay.
So the stenosis would have hit a couple years later because, well, I, like a lot of people, struggle with doing well of employees and team members.
Yeah, yeah. It's a common
And
thing for
it's
sure.
hard to ride just like and so if you're a guy that goes, well, fuck it, I'm going to get it done.
You
You
are going
fuck
to
it,
get
you
it
get it
done.
done, and you lift drums, you do barrels, and eventually your back just goes out.
Yeah.
So then once it went out, it just compressed the spine, nerve damage then through all my legs and my back. And
Yeah.
the hardest part was, about 6 years ago and 6 years ago. And it's interesting. If anybody can remember, if if you were there in that 17, 18, 19 era, 20, and went to Mobile Tech, went to SEMA, came to our pint nights and did all that. There was a crew that came and we would always do house parties. So
Mm.
we would rent Airbnbs, and then we'd have people over, and it was always fun. And those people give me shit. They were like, "Dude, why do you sound so terrible?" Like I couldn't even walk up the stairs without going, "Oh," like I mean, it was, and that was that was the very early onset of it. Once it really took over, and you basically, in a sense, lose connection with your muscles because they go dormant.
Okay. Holy shit.
So, you can't feel things. You're disconnected from things. Like,
Damn.
yeah, it's
Oh
it's
man,
bad.
that's
It's
a
bad.
tough journey,
And that's
man.
5. There's at least 7, and then 5 the diagnosis, and weekly, biweekly therapy through it since then. I mean,
That's
I'm
crazy.
almost
Same therapist.
there.
That's good,
Almost
man.
there.
You've done it. You put the work in. Same therapist, or you've switched out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called
Okay.
R3 stretch. Yeah.
And amazing. See,
Mhm.
when you find a good one,
Yeah, well, so what they are is it's a doctor and a business owner, like just a businessman that wanted to help and have a place for geriatrics because their parents had gotten into a place in their life that then they needed help and there wasn't anybody around. So it's a lot of geriatric, and I mean it's the same. I basically had the same thing as a stroke. So
yeah.
I mean a stroke, you lose connection with your body. So it's the same thing for me. I mean, I had to reconnect my nerves and reconnect my muscles, and do everything business wise at the same time, trying to.
Shoot,
I said it years ago. I always felt like I was fighting with my hands tied behind my back.
that's wild. That's literally what it is in a
Yeah.
way, you know? That's crazy, man.
Take a
Holy
lot of blows and just keep trying to push forward.
yeah, 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 that's it. Just push forward. Well, congrats, man. Seriously, that's quite the journey,
Yeah,
man. Seriously.
almost there.
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing, man. It's those kinds of things. I love those kind of stories where it's seeing someone like everybody has obstacles, everybody has challenges. But where
Mhm.
when you're faced with like challenges on top of challenges, and then someone still just pushes through, that it's
Yeah, but
not
I
even
guess
someone
what
that can
people
do that.
do is they give excuses, right? Most people don't
Yeah.
push through things because they want to blame something,
Hmm.
right? This happened, or well, these people are that, and so it's not their fault.
Hmm.
I literally could look at myself in the mirror and go, "This was your fault."
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I wasn't good at keeping people, and then I did it all my own. Right?
yeah.
That's an inherited trait from my dad. Right? There's a lot of us that have genes and we don't realize why we do things. We go,
It's like,
damn, like
just like him. Yes,
just like,
son
like,
of a
damn it.
I was trying so hard not to be.
Mhm.
Shit. Yeah, it's true though. Like
So it's my own fault. I just had to tell myself, if you did it to yourself, that means you can get through it and you can get out of it.
yeah,
But,
100%.
I feel for the people that have stenosis and it was from a injury, like
Mm,
a wreck, or some people were born with, spinal problems or muscular like
fear,
dysfunctions, dystrophy or whatever. And
yeah,
yeah, those people, I mean, they can't ever go back. There was no there was, I could still connect to memories, and which is something that I do on a regular basis, try and reconnect to a memory, then I can remember how to use parts of my body.
yeah. Okay.
But
If you never had
they
those
can't
memories,
because
yeah.
something has
Damn,
been
that's
finished.
true. Yeah,
But I can still keep going back and reconnect and try and keep growing
shoot, man.
or
Wow.
climbing.
So hey, that's it. Climbing. Yeah, salute to that, man. Definitely.
All
Uh,
right, we didn't mean to get off on that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
You just
still,
start
very
talking about
interesting.
something. I did my bad, man.
Yeah, all good, man.
You asked about a bike, and I was like, God damn, I
And then
really
now,
want to
boom, boom,
get
boom,
back
boom.
on my bike. Like,
Yeah, but no, man. That's interesting though. I love that kind of stuff because for me, business is a journey, but life is the actual journey, and business is just a part of that course kind of thing. And so, like this potentially crazy man that's biking to your house, like he's on a actual journey right now, but his journey is just part of the greater journey of whatever his life is. And I'm not trying to get all philosophical or anything on everybody, but reality is, um, everything is just kind of built up of pieces. Like our bodies are built up of pieces, pieces of cells, pieces of arms, legs, this, that. Same thing with your business, same thing with your life. Everything's just pieces of things. And I feel like there's this whole thing going on where, people they put businesses on a pedestal in a way. Like if they see someone that's successful or someone that does something, they're like, oh my God, and they think they almost think it's unattainable or unachievable, or that sometimes the opposite, that it should just come easy because they're not realizing all the pieces that are involved. And so on both sides of that spectrum, if you think, oh my God, like it's that guy's doing so good, I can't do that, you feel it's unattainable, just realize he puts his pants on one leg at a time as you, or it's just the building blocks. You got to put the pieces in place. Similarly, if you look at someone that has something, you're like, man, I could do that. I don't want to put in the work. I just want to be successful and, make some TikToks and have a Lambo and this and that. And it's like, you're not seeing all the pieces that that person's had to do. So that's what
Mhm.
life is just made up of. So me, I'm always fascinated where, how do people end up where they are, and what pieces kind of brought them to that point. So
Mm.
that's what's fascinating to me. So that's where I like to know more of your story. And on that note, I'll touch briefly on some pieces that make up Shawn, that happened to me recently. So we recently upgraded our server network. It's amazing,
Oh yeah.
so much better, but yet riddled with some issues because any big changes have problems, right? And so the last
Mm.
48 hours, I literally have slept 4 hours. Now, in that time, which is pretty cool, I did a lot of other stuff. I've exercised. I, went for a swim. Yeah, I took some me time too, in a way. I
You
was
didn't take a nap? Like, why did you choose? I gotta go for a swim instead of I gotta take a nap.
So that's a good question. So around 11 p.m., I started to kind of fade and I started to just feel tired. So I said, okay, one option is coffee. That's a short term kind of thing. So I said, no, what I'll do instead, I went downstairs, I did 150 push ups, I did 120 jumping jacks, and then I went for a swim. And I tell you, I was awake. Okay, I was awake. And so it was 30 minutes in total. I was 15 minutes in the pool, 15 minutes downstairs. Finished everything, went, and I was up then until 4 a.m. Then I slept for 2 hours, got up, took the kids to school, came back, handled support tickets, finished fixing some bugs, stuff like that. And the process just continued. And so then I had my coffee, but
I think, okay, hold on.
last,
I
yeah,
think most people, especially, let's think of for a second.
all right.
If we can all go back, and for some of us that didn't go to college, if we just think of high school. But for those of us that did go to college, and you got some paper, you got a test, you got something, right? Like that's what I think about
Yeah, yeah,
staying up too late, right? Like there's
yeah.
always something that you got to the point and you're like, crap, I've like now I gotta stay up. And you always had that moment, should I stay up and push through it or just go to
Or
bed and
you
wake
can
up
wake up
early?
earlier. Yeah.
So that's why like, you're curious about things. I'm curious, like, oh, why did you?
Absolutely.
I would have been the guy that's like, you know what, let me just go and go to bed and then I'll wake up at like 3. But you have people live needing help
Yeah.
with bugs. And if you go to bed for your own sake, those people have
Those
bugs
people
that gotta get,
suffer.
oh,
Yeah, and
gee.
especially being a global company, we have members in
Yeah.
Australia, Italy, Ukraine, you name it. So I get messages 24/7. It's not just business hours, and people message in a million different ways. I tell them, please use the support tickets. Those of you that do, thank you. God bless you. You know what I mean? But there's people that don't, and they send me a Facebook message or a live chat. They send a text. It's coming in all angles, which is great and convenient for them, but also really slows down the support side of things. However, I do my best to kind of reroute things and can you please submit a ticket, things like that. Sometimes I'm guilty of it too, where I'm like, I'm just going to do it myself. Something that should be answered by support, I'll be like, well, I already reviewed the support ticket. I'm right here. So I'll just send a quick message. It's something I'm working on. So I'm going to the Bahamas soon, and I will be taking a week off where I'm contemplating leaving my laptop and just going tech free. I know, and I've got staff in place to deal with things, so use them, right?
All
I
right.
will.
Where in the Bahamas? Where's your good to?
So we're going to Atlantis. I think it's actually I don't
When are
know
you going?
city. First week of October. Yeah, so October 7th, I think we fly out, 6th or 7th. And so we're gonna go do the thing where you go down the slides and there's the sharks above you and the manta rays and all that stuff. It's gonna be wild. Apparently there's swimming pigs. I don't know, it's gonna be crazy. So I'll take a lot of video footage and stuff. It's gonna be a blast. We go away every year for our anniversary, and this one we're bringing the kids, which is nice because it's kind of a kids place in a way. There's slides and all kinds of stuff. So it'll be nice. So yeah, we're going to the Bahamas for a week. a big part of it was me just A, needing to recharge batteries, which is important, but B, I need to put myself through a test as well where I've hired people, very talented, capable people. I pay
Can
them
it
a
run? Can it
substantial
run?
amount of money because, as we've talked about many times, you got to pay people
Mhm.
properly. I'm spending big dollars. Why, if I can't take a week away completely, what am I doing this for? So reality is, I know the day's gonna come. I'm gonna throw my laptop in the bag. It's gonna happen. However, I'm actively going to be making an effort not to do anything, and we actually put measures in place to make that happen. And so one thing we've done is we've locked down the entire access to the server to make any changes to just the IPs here that we use in the office. So if I need to do something, I have to submit a support ticket to my staff asking for them to add my IP address, and I'm only able to connect to it from a VPN IP address that we've assigned that they get to rotate every 4 hours. So we've kind of put in some fail safes where it's like, Shawn, we got this. And we had team meetings and they all said, dude, we got this. Like, we just please, like, let us, you hired us, we're capable, let us
Let
run
them
with it.
cook. Let them
Yeah,
cook.
exactly. So I need to be less Chef Ramsay and I don't know, more Balzarian. I don't know. It was the only name I could think of. But so I'm gonna try this out, which is gonna be nice, but it well deserved for sure because I've been working on this upgrade for eight
So,
months.
so what I've looked at the Bahamas too. So her wife's turning 40 in December, and she's like, "Listen,
Nice.
we're going somewhere."
Welcome to the club.
Club? Is that what you said?
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Oh, welcome to the club. I said we're going somewhere, and I thought you said to the club. I was like,
Oh, to the club. Yeah, yeah. Woo, pop bottles.
on a Tuesday. All right, 50 Cent, let's go.
Another one.
No, wrong one.
You know, bring the uncle. Yeah, yeah. Here you go. Jesus.
But so I looked up Bahamas and I looked up those pigs. I really am
Nice.
curious about, you know, how India it's cows and the cows are sacred. Is Bahamas pigs are sacred? Is that what it is? I mean,
That's a good
what's the deal
question.
with the pigs there?
I honestly don't know. The only thing I
Or is
do,
it just a tourist attraction?
I think it's
And
a
there's like
tourist
this one
attraction.
family that has this strange pig that suddenly got out in the
So,
water and now they
and
just
there's what we
put
call the
pigs out there and
swim.
take pictures or something
That's
like
true. Yeah. You
for
know,
the
I honestly
gram.
don't know. But what I do know is this: I'm bracing myself because apparently it's not as clean as the videos make it seem.
Oh, absolutely not. If there's
Yeah.
pigs there, it's not clean. Come on, man.
Yeah. So
Come
I
on.
saw the
Get
videos. I
up.
was like, man, this looks awesome. They look adorable. And then
Mhm.
we are talking to a friend, and she said, I went
Yeah.
there. She just got back like maybe 3, 4 weeks ago, and she said, listen, I went. It was nice, but the pigs were filthy. She said the water
Yeah,
where
the
they were,
pigs.
everything was just like, they're pigs, you know? Kind of crushed my spirits a little bit. I didn't tell the kids yet. I'm just gonna wait and see. But
Just let them ride the pigs. Don't worry about it. Salt
yeah,
water, it's got some
but it does have
natural
me
antibacteria in it, you know,
true. Yeah, I mean, but it is 300 per person to go see them.
to
So
ride the pigs.
I don't think you get to ride them for that price. I mean, I might. Might anyway.
That's too much in Oklahoma, huh?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
That's
that's what they do around.
they ride the
We
pig.
got the fair and people get out there and ride them big pot bellied pigs, you know.
Ride the pig.
Wee-haw!
Yeah,
Wee,
let's
wee, wee,
go.
wee.
Smack the ass.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm there for it. I grew up in the country, so that for me is like we used to have to this guy John Long, he used to live down the road
I
from
grew up in the city. It's just
our
city in Oklahoma is
oh
like
shit.
country up
That
there,
was
you know. It
oh
is what it is.
it is what it is. Okay, so me it was different. Damn, that's wild. Oh, but you know what? Two funny things I forgot just while I'm on the train. So we're doing this upgrade, handling bugs as fast as they come in, because anytime we do a big change like this, there's the unknown unknowns. We had some major upgrades for security side of things. Sometimes firewalls and security is a little too secure. It's kind of like if you set up a system in your house with lasers and shit. There you go. If a thief comes in, we're gonna catch him, and then you have to go get a glass of water in the middle of the night, and you're like, oh shit, and you set off your own alarm. Same kind of thing. And so we were handling all the unknown unknowns. So I'm dealing with just support ticket after support ticket, boom, boom, boom. We're banging them out. We got a flow. Everything's going good. We're handling crisis in a good way. And then I get two messages. One was very inspirational, and the other one literally had me on the floor laughing. So the one that was inspirational, the guy said, he said, Thanks for helping me out, getting that sorted. We got it fixed." And then he wrote me back and he said, second email. And I thought, oh God, I'm opening it up. I'm like, is this not resolved already? What happened? And he said, nothing's wrong.
How
Everything's
much would you charge for da, da, da?
for I just blah 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 blah. Yeah,
The number one question.
yeah,
Hey, how
yeah,
much would you charge? Oh, by the way,
yeah, about 500 blah blah blah. But yeah, so he thanks. So he said, man, he said, I gotta commend you on your work ethic. He sent me a message at 3 a.m., got a reply back, sent me one at 9 a.m., got a reply back, just after 11, got a reply back, 1 p.m., got a reply back. This continued all the
mm-hmm.
way until 3 or 4 a.m. the next day. But he was like, man, he's like, I was taking breaks. He's like, I took a nap, this and that. He's like, I would message, boom. So at first he thought it was AI. And I was like, no, 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 it's me. So he kind of tested it and he asked like a weird kind of question. And then I wrote him back and I was like, listen, man, like I've talked to you a lot. Like, are you okay? Like, is everything all right over your shop? Like I was messaging him back and I referenced something from before that we had talked about. And he said, oh shit. He said, I thought it was just AI writing back. I said, no, man, this is me. Like, what's going on? And he said, man, your work ethic is just like unmatched. And he said, like, you're a fucking workhorse. And I thought about it. I was like, holy shit, man, that felt really good to hear that, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. And the reason it felt good is not because I want to make work my life, but it's because I want everyone that works within my companies to not make work their life, but I want them to, when they are working, work exceptionally hard because they want to. And that comes with being that lead dog in the race and setting that pace so that they want to keep up. And so that's where it was a really good compliment to get. A lot of people tell me that, which is great, but hearing it in the middle of a crisis, it was a kind of nice message to get. Second message I got, this guy sent me a GIF or GIF or whatever they're called of SpongeBob, and he was like sick and he's pulling his hair out, and he just said, "I'm having issues," and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I was like, "What's going on, man? What's wrong with your account or whatever?" And he wrote back, he's like, "Absolutely nothing. Everything's running perfectly, even better than before. I just know you're getting a lot of messages today, and I figured you could use a laugh." I was like, "What the?" It was just out of the blue, and I was like, "You know what, man? Good for you. I did laugh," and I was like, that cheered me up. Like it's not that I was upset, but it was more just it took my
And then did you go? Now stop
happiness.
wasting my time. I got more
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
to
It's
do.
like now fuck off. I gotta get back to work. Yeah.
Like it was funny, but god damn it, dude.
I was slipping 2 fucking days. Yeah, so it was good, and we knew this was going to happen, so we were prepared for it because we prepared for it. We sent out a release to all the members, stuff like that. So it's been going good. But the big thing is there's so many features we've been working on in the last 8 months that we haven't been able to release because the previous server wouldn't have been able to handle it with the AI. The new server can handle the next 10, 20 years of development easily, no matter what we do, which is amazing. And so now we're going to start slow releasing those things into the environments. Once we've got, the dust settles from the server switch, we can start slow releasing those things, educating people on how to use the features, so on and so forth. There's some big stuff coming. OrbisX is going to be, it was already a game changer. It's going to be something else, something else. All the other CRMs, brace yourself. That's all I can say. But anyway.
Dude, I've seen some people pretty much bragging now. Are you sure? Because I've seen some brags recently. There was a guy that he posted. He couldn't believe how great this one place, was
Yeah,
doing. They're now sending out text messages to his customers.
Mm.
And
That's a big deal. Yeah.
dude, it's 2024,
2024, sending
late
out a text.
2024, and this company's now able to send out text
Yeah.
messages. So now they're able, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great that they're able to do it. So
Yeah.
proud of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so proud that this guy was so
It's good that they're
so proud.
finally able.
I'm proud that he was proud that he
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
get customers receiving a text message
Yeah. That's a big step,
late
man.
2024. Like
Seriously.
it's
I feel like I should
you know,
cheers to that. Oh.
uh, uh,
Salute.
wait,
Yeah. Yeah.
hold
We'll do that. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Man, that's wild, man. Jeez, 2024, like Jesus, that's the bare minimums.
on.
Oh
Hey,
man. But
big deal. Now
yeah,
they're able.
jeez, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to release just a ton of stuff that's coming. It's gonna be mayhem. Yeah, yeah. But so one other thing I do want to touch on before I forget, because I do have a tip today. So I'm gonna jump into this because during our team meeting, something was mentioned to me. We always team meeting, we talk about, whatever's at hand, but then things kind of just veer off. It's a conversation, right? And Jeff, one of the coders, said to me, he said, we're talking about Tesla, and he's really excited. He has a bunch of Teslas himself, and he's excited to get the robo taxis when Tesla does release them. He said, "Man, it's going to be like a money printing machine." And he said, "But Tesla has to time it right because he can't fall victim to the Osborne effect." And I was like, "The Osborne effect?" At the time, I hadn't heard of it. I was
Like,
familiar with the
like
principle.
Dr. Osborne from
Dr.
Spider-Man?
Osborne.
Like,
So, in a realm of such, I guess, but not
hmm,
really. No, so the Osborne effect. It's named after a company. So they made computers. So it's named after a computer corporation, Osborne. I don't know, computer or something. But the Osborne effect. Most of us will, in a way, be already familiar with the principle, but maybe not having it labeled.
yeah, they create
So
spiders and then bite
it
people
creates
and then become a
exactly.
spider.
That's exactly it. There you go. Episode done. So, so yeah. So the Osborne effect, though, is basically a phenomenon where you can see a significant drop in your sales depending on when you release news of a promotion or a new product or a new offering or something like that. So, for example, in the case of Tesla, the conversation we were having is that Tesla is selling obviously the Model 3, and they've got huge inventory, as we've all seen in the news, and they're sitting on a backlog of inventory. But now they're going to release this $25,000 car. If they release that too soon, they could impact the sales of the Model 3. Because if I'm on the fence of buying a Tesla or I'm looking into it and I say, holy shit, they just announced they're releasing a $25,000 car, maybe I'll wait a month or two until that actually happens, because now you've removed that sense of urgency that I need this now. You've
And I'll
actually,
say, I'll say the Osborne effect increases dramatically during lower economy times.
yes, big time, because people are already hesitant. And
Mhm.
just like how a call to action will push someone to buy, the Osborne effect can actually cause someone to be pushed away from buying. So not only were they kind of on the fence or hesitant, you've literally just given them a reason not to buy. And the last thing you want to do is give a customer an objection. You don't want to give them a reason that now you have to come with a rebuttal of why, So you're putting them in that position for that. So okay, that applies to Tesla, and I'm sure it applies with most businesses. But how does that really apply in detailing? Because if you're not planning on launching a new service, it's I always offer the same services. Well, it applies with your advertising. So when you're going to launch a promotion or when you're going to push an ad out or something like that, let's say you're going to start advertising gift card sales, stuff like that. There's timings that need to be factored in. And the more that you can take a look at when you're going to do something and actually do it with intention, the less likely you'll fall victim to the Osborne effect. Because in the case of the Osborne effect, they were launching a new computer and they basically had their existing sales. They had a good process going. They were making sales. They had a bunch of units they had to get rid of. They announced next, April or whatever, we're going to be launching this new mega computer or something. For the next 5 months, their sales dropped month after month because everyone was like, I'm not buying anything now. I'm just going to wait 5 months. I'll make do with what I have now. And it's the same thing with what we're doing. If you say, okay, I got to ramp up some business. You start putting out some stuff, and even if you say like you see it all the time where there's like expiry dates on promotions. It's like expires in 30 days. This offer won't last long or something. You've just told me it's like okay, I got 30 days to make a decision, so I don't feel any reason to do it today, kind of thing, right? So you're better off almost to have 5 ads that you run every weekend, and you just say for the next 5 to 6 weeks like here's the deal, like you don't say for the next 5 to 6 weeks, but you say this weekend only XYZ, and you run that ad like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then stop it, and then you start another one, and so on and so forth. So you're better off to take a more strategic approach with your marketing. But this is all fine and dandy when I'm just throwing out theories for everybody. So what I did is I put together a mini ebook booklet book kind of thing that I wrote today. It's got the literal plan that we're going to be implementing at our shop, factoring in the Osborne effect, and it will give you a play by play month by month, every upcoming holiday and how you can use the moments before that holiday to create buzz. And then you use that buzz when the actual holiday comes around. That's when you can start hammering out some ads about something in particular. Christmas time, gift card sales, things like that. Springtime. For us, we do a lot of things by season as well. So I included that in the book because you might go major holidays, you might go seasons. Marshall and I have talked about this before. We prefer seasons for many reasons. Us at our shop, a lot of the services we do are based around seasons, and I imagine it's the same for many people. Like we do tinting. Obviously, there's a lot more benefits where it's like, it's really hot outside in the summer, so ceramic tint is going to sell more. So we push that heavily. When it comes winter time and, the glass is the temperature from inside versus outside, the chances of rock chips and cracking is higher. So we push our windshield replacements, things like that. So we look at things seasonally, but then that's kind of the macro. And then we dive down to the micro, and we know that, like Valentine's Day is really important to a lot of guys. So, and ladies, of course, but to a lot of guys, it's important in a different way. We're the last minute, like, oh, fuck,
Yeah, it's
what am
important
I
to
going
us
to
from
do?
11 o'clock on. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
10 p.m. if we're older,
Yeah,
but if
yeah,
we're
yeah.
younger, Valentine's is only important from 11 p.m.
It's true.
to
Like the
midnight.
minute the cowboy hat goes on the door, that's pretty much the only time it matters. Very
Everything
true.
else was preparation.
Everything else is preparation. And just like that with your ads, everything leading up is preparation until the cowboy hat goes on the door. And so for us, we don't focus on the specific holidays because the cost per
So is that, do you wear cowboy hats? I mean, you said that now 3 times. I guess when it's time for like, I thought you wear the Mr. Gervais. Like, look at the
yeah,
hat you
yeah.
got on, right? You're gonna wear a cowboy hat. You're not gonna put your own logo on that one. You're like,
She wears this one when I no, I just kidding. Absolutely. The Cowboys back in town, baby. Yeehaw. And so, absolutely. So Valentine's Day, very important, especially here. It's my wife's birthday, Valentine's Day. And I'm always looking for perfect gifts, stuff like that. So the problem is, as anyone will notice when they search online around holidays, what do you see? Thousands of ads all saying the exact same thing. So this is where we get more strategic with our marketing and we start introducing things ahead of time leading up to a special. But we don't announce that special too soon because we don't want to detract from our other sales. We don't want to detract from people just making regular bookings. So everything we do during the buzz period, we call it, where we're generating buzz about something that's coming, we use that more to give information. So like right now, November is going to be coming very soon. People have to change their tires over. So we send out information about changing their tires. We send out information about, the effects of, climate on their windshield and how things can impact ceramic coatings, PPF, all different. We just send out information. Other good ones are, if you haven't booked a snow plow to come clean your driveway every year, now's a good time. Here's 5 companies. Just more information. Buzz about the holidays. Buzz about the upcoming stuff. And then we say, keep an eye out for more emails with helpful tips and future promotions. And we'll say things like that. We drop little lines. And then the next one, we get a little more specific and we say, open the next email because it's going to have more information about our Christmas promos. But then that next email doesn't have a promo in it. It just has more information plus something else. So we create buzz along the way, helpful information, and then we hit them where there's 1 week where we'll say this week only, book XYZ, but now we're not impacting our previous sales.
and let me ask you a question here because I got a message from a guy earlier today. I think he listens to this because he joined OrbisX,
All right.
and he asked, should he work with a marketing company?
Mm,
Right? Like,
really good question.
it was a different part of a text, but in a sense, he's asking, should I do it on my own or should I work with the marketing company?
Uh,
You basically just kind of laid out
a
in a
plan
sense,
for
more
them.
a
Yeah.
plan. Is that a
Yeah.
plan of, hey, if you're not going to do this plan, you need to work with a marketing company. Or here is a plan that you could actually kind of go through if you want to kind of,
And do
in a
it that way.
sense,
Yeah.
do it
So,
yourself.
you know what? My feedback on that is 5 years ago, and this is from someone like I still own a marketing company, right? We don't take on clients anymore. We just work with a handful of clients. Like we have Toyota, Harley Davidson. We work with some, not Toyota as a whole, but we have
Canada.
several, several franchises that we work with. But my whole, I guess, theory on it, or no, my opinion on it is 5 years ago, absolutely, absolutely, because you're going to be far too busy to be able to do all the research that's needed to do it effectively. It's just going to be easier for you to just get more sales and do it that way. You'd be better off to focus on your sales game, upping that, and then pay the marketing company. Recently, marketing companies have started charging a lot more, but offering kind of the same or less. And
Well, I thought too, interesting you say that. That's sort of what I feel too. It's like
yeah,
they're seem to be riding their wave a little bit longer.
yeah,
Then they
100%.
realize that tail's a little played out.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Here's what I would do if I was to start over. I didn't have my own marketing company, didn't have my own printing company. If I literally just started over, Shawn is now, take off the Shawn Gervais hat. I'm Joe Blow with a haircut that needs to be redone.
You go to that website,
Yeah.
Google, and just type it in and watch a bunch of information on how to do it,
Yep.
right?
100%. So I would go to YouTube University. That would be step
Mhm.
one. That's what would be plain.
Facebook University has a
Yep.
great when
That's
they
true.
rolled out their ads, they
Yeah.
actually have a whole program around if
You
you're a
become
quote
like
unquote
certified.
small business,
Yeah.
you can go take classes, quote unquote,
Yeah.
and get educated on how to properly
100%.
run ads because they'll make more money if you
If
run
you
more
run
ads and are
ads.
successful at it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you
And
really
Google,
don't at a point, you don't need a marketing company
100%.
to run your ads,
Yeah.
right? There are inside of marketing companies, there are companies that strictly you pay to just go and upload your ad and they have the knowledge, the same as you have the knowledge to tell your customer that they should pay you for paint correction and a lifetime coating.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll also find some marketing companies that have a lot of over promised.
Yeah. 40 leads a day or whatever, all that bullshit. Absolutely. So here's what I would do if I was starting over, because this is the golden age for this. I would go to YouTube University. I would go to the Facebook University. I would call Google. Google Ads. They have a number. You can actually just sign up and they'll assign you a rep. They will call you because same thing. The more ads you run, the more money they make. And these are the avenues where Google really makes money. It's not by listing websites in their directory. It's all the other stuff. And so they will call you, they will sit on the phone with you, ask you about your target audience, your budget. Do you want to do this, that? They will even look at keywords, they will suggest things. They know what to do because they work directly with the platform and it's free. So
Shawn,
it's
is
forever start.
free, and
Yeah.
maybe there's some people that'll go, "Oh, awesome." Is that a 20-minute process?
No, that's a you're gonna spend an afternoon and
Every
probably
afternoon for a
yeah.
month.
Well, I was about to say you're gonna spend an afternoon with them just discussing your keywords, and
Yeah.
then you're even
You
then,
gotta spend hours every
yeah, you're gonna
evening
make the
or what,
ad.
like.
Then you're gonna come back and you're gonna assess
Mhm.
those results, change, tweak, add things, remove things. They do a decent job of sending you like recommendations based on performance, and you can, apply this, apply that. I found that it's better to talk to the reps directly. And then the other thing I would do is utilize ChatGPT, or usually there's many other AIs out there. Just ask it the right questions.
3 hours a night.
3 hours a night, I would say. Yeah,
After dinner, after everybody, if typically if kids are going to take baths or people watch movies or do like
yeah.
8 o'clock, nine
Yeah, I'd
o'clock
say
to
8 till
11 o'clock,
11,
like
something like that, and this
two
isn't
hours a
forever.
night.
It's
Like,
yeah, like
and if you just spend 2 hours a night,
mhm,
you don't have to hire a marketing company in
100%,
6 months.
and you're gonna know
But you
more.
need to spend what, 80 hours, 2 hours a night. So you need
Yeah.
3 or 4 months worth of leadway
Oh, yeah, and
to
put it
really
this
understand what to do.
100%, if you work with a marketing company too, it's not like you just send them a check and then you just, "I'm done." You still have to put in time with them too, and if you're not, they're just taking your money. Because if they're not sitting down and having meetings with you to discuss those keywords, to review things, to what kind of promos do you guys have coming up and stuff. They're literally just taking your money. If you work with a marketing company, you probably should be spending at least 10 hours a month minimum with that marketing company just in meetings, reviewing things, discussing things, going over stats, all kind of stuff. If you're not, hey man, go to creativedesigns.ca and sign up. I'll take your check. All right. Like that's the reality of things. That's crazy. You have to put in the time. Absolutely. I'm busier than most people I talk to, and present company excluded, of course. And I find the time. I have decades of experience in marketing, but it changes. It changes fast. It changes. What we might do in springtime is different than what we do. Like anything we do around certain holidays, like Mother's Day. Man, be prepared. You're competing with the flower companies. You're competing with. So it changes. It's
So
different.
most people should hire a marketing company, huh?
Uh, it depends on what their goal is. For example, here's
Are
the
people
thing.
going to spend 2 hours a night for
No,
6 months?
most people, no. Should they? Yes. But here's the thing. The alternative is you could spend 3 hours a month.
5,000 a month.
Yeah, you could spend 5,000 a month. That's true. And that is a good option if you have the right marketing company and they are going to spend that time with you, and it's still gonna be a time investment, slightly less.
Well, you can't spend 100. You
Mm.
can't spend 1,000. You're not going to get anything. That's the waste
No,
of money.
that's
You
just
actually, once
that's
you
just the
start getting into
management
marketing,
fee. Yeah.
yeah, once
It's
you get into marketing companies, you actually minimum probably would be 5. I mean,
100%.
probably need to really get to that $10,000 to $15,000 a month. And most details are going to go, you've lost your mind.
Yeah, no, but that's what it is. Our consultant
Okay,
fee.
if I lost my mind, spend the 2 hours a night. Stop asking the question, well, how do I market? Well, I mean, that's the craziest thing you see in all these Facebook groups. Oh, well, kind of slow down. How do I do it? 2 hours a night. Go to, like you said, YouTube
Yeah.
University or Facebook. The discussion's over, right? Pay somebody or spend the time for 6 months, 2 hours a night.
100%, yeah. And they could cut some corners by using ChatGPT as well, which could help. They could cut down their time,
But they'll cut the Chat
but
GPT corner and they won't do what you do.
that's true, and then they're gonna be
They won't say, "Hey, Chat GP, do you know about Like, do you
Mm,
know about?" And get really specific and make Chat GPT really get specific. And they'll
yeah,
just ask
that's
some
true.
generic question and go cut and paste. And it's
No,
like,
because you really do have
oh,
to,
this is,
yeah, you
yeah,
have to get into it, and so part of this though. So the book that I put together, they'll be able to kind of learn some of these things that they have to do,
perfect, perfect.
which is good. And it's a great starting place. And you'll be able to take some of this info. You could literally just copy paste what you read in the book, certain sections, paste it into ChatGPT, and just tell them, I have an auto shop. I'm located in such and such city. How can I implement this in my auto detailing business? And it'll tell you, boom, 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 do this. Okay, I want to run Facebook ads. Can you make me 12 months worth of ads? And then read the ads and be like, this isn't really compelling. Show it to some people, print it out, and then go back to ChatGPT and say, hey, listen, we just did this ad. That was your suggestion. Can we refine it so it's more edgy? Can we refine it so it captures attention? Like just tell it to make revisions, and it'll spit stuff out in seconds. So if it was me starting over, that's where I would go to first is ChatGPT, YouTube University, Facebook ads. I would learn from their library as well, and then I would get on the phone with the Google Ads people. Now, if you feel you might need to hire a marketing agency, I still think you should go through some of that process so that when you're hiring a marketing agency, you're better informed. So you know if they're blowing smoke up your ass or if they're telling you the truth. And also you know what you're looking for in that marketing
Do you ever
agency.
know? You don't know until you spend the money and
You
get the
don't know until you
results. You
spend the
don't
money
know.
most times.
You don't know. I know there's
The
a lot of
more,
people that think that they can go with their gut and they can understand.
yeah,
You don't. You
that's
can't.
true. I'd say
So
the more promises they make you, the
there's
more
so
guaranteed.
many, so
Yeah.
many.
If
And
a marketing agency guarantees it, it's bullshit, in my opinion.
you
That's
always think, right? We over the years we always say, "Oh, well, this people."
mhm,
We've learned really the only way to know is spend the money. If it
100%.
works, it works. If it doesn't
Yeah,
work, you can't.
100%.
You can hang your cowboy hat on the door on Valentine's Day, but Well, once you realize some marketing video or something isn't working, you can't hang a hat, man. You just
That's
got to
true.
move on and try and figure out what
That's
I love this is I love this analogy when it comes to marketing. I love the analogy of fishing. And one of my favorite movies of all time, I would say it's number 4. River Runs Through It. Brad
okay.
Pitt, they're learning
Yeah.
fly fishing. It's all about that up there. And it's always in there, even at the very end. It's, hey man, what's Biden? Shit. Well, it wasn't this, it's this. Okay, let me switch. Because if you're fishing and you're gonna spend the time, you ain't gonna sit out there and not catch something. You gotta figure
Yeah.
out what's Biden.
What's
So
Biden? Yeah.
same in marketing and same as spending money on ads. You gotta spend it. And then you just gotta be ready to go. Listen, I ain't Biden. I gotta flush it. I gotta have
Yeah.
3 or 4 going so that I can see different
That's
styles,
a
see what's gonna
good
hit,
point.
see what's going. And yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really know other way to
That
do it.
volume is important because, like,
Yeah,
you see all these viral videos, right? Like, some, I don't know, could be anything. Could be something stupid. A cat falls off a ladder or something. 10 million views. You have no idea what's gonna,
yeah.
like, trigger that reaction. But if you put all your hopes and efforts into one thing, like, let's
Ain't
say,
gonna work.
yeah, like, us at the shop, we've tried so
If
many
it works, you need to
styles
sell your detailing company and go
and
become
open up
a,
a.
yeah, like you're in the
It's
wrong
true.
business if it works.
That's so true though, yeah, because there's so many people out there that need this kind of help, you know? And
Mhm.
the saddest thing I've seen recently is the website companies that, like, what they're charging people is
It's
just
ridiculous.
atrocious. It's
It's ridiculous.
criminal, in my opinion,
It is
because
criminal.
so much of that money, like, I was talking to a guy, he paid, I think, 2,500 down for the website, and then he pays like 150 a month or something for his website. And then he said, "How can I, run some Google ads with a budget of like 300 bucks a month?" And I said, "No, you need a lot more than that." And he says, "Well, I can't because I put all my money into the website." And I was like, "Oh, fuck." I was like, "Man, I would have rather you just had a Facebook page and then dump all
Yep.
that money into your ads
Yep.
because my God." And that's where
They
I
sign a
swear,
contract
one of
and
these days, yeah,
stuck and
one of these days, Marshall, I'm gonna get back in the website game and help these guys out. I swear to
you
God,
need to.
because it's
You need to because
insane.
they're getting worked over,
Oh,
man. They're getting worked over.
brutal, man,
Brutal.
brutal. And they're all sold. Oh, it's because our system, we have the most secure this and that or something. That's why you pay so much per month. It's like bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah.
They're just, man, these are like mini websites. The ones that kill me too. It's like, oh, we just launched a new template. And it's like, so you've got 15 templates. You're just reselling to everybody. It's crazy. Man, like, I came from the era where, like, my company, we've done over 3,000 websites and they were all unique, all built from scratch before AI could write 90% of it. I had to
Mhm.
have writers that were writing stuff, and oh shit, I had to pay them. Oh my God. Yeah. And we had coders, front end guys, everything. I had a staff of 32 pumping out websites. Everyone was unique. They were focused on SEO back even before people even knew SEO was a big thing. And just what I see nowadays is just criminal. And I wish that more of the money went into advertising and marketing instead of these
I
websites. Oh,
I bet you your lens on websites and what's going on there
yeah.
is very similar to my bias and my lens of if you go to TikTok or almost any place now and see how many people have ceramic coatings.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's
I
so
mean, it's a label on anything, and we got a ceramic coating now. Like,
it's true. Yeah.
oh my word. Like,
And
and people years ago, 2017, 18, 19, I'd post photos of, hey guys, this layers and all this stuff. It's not going to be like, they'd yell at me then, hey, you're going to kill the coating industry. I'm not going to kill the coating industry.
the other,
We're
like,
going to get to the point. And back then I said, we're going to get to the point of this, and we're there.
yeah, yeah,
Coatings are a dime a dozen.
yeah. Literally, like,
Doesn't matter anymore. There was this dog company that chose the word coating, and they weren't a coating company, and
yeah.
they started the downfall. I
Mhm.
would actually blame them for every problem in ceramic coatings afterwards because they were the first ones that created a coating that wasn't ceramic, and they misled so many detailers around what is a coating and what happened after that snowflake. Well, the avalanche and the downfall of what's a ceramic coating. Shit. We got into graphene and all this triphene bullshit. Like
Yeah, it's
you can
true.
literally now, literally go to any car wash, any dealership, any pawn shop, any parts store.
It's true, man, and it's just yeah, it's everywhere, but it's garbage that's there.
It's
It's
garbage.
we've
It's
been seeing it
garbage.
happen now in the film industry as well because
Oh, absolutely.
so and I mean it was always like there was always, white label boxes and stuff like that for sure, but we've seen it a lot recently where like we've had customers come in and there was a shop that they've closed down now. They were open for I think 4 months and they just couldn't make it for obvious reasons, but we had customers come to us, they were sold a film installed and they were like the installation was great and I was promised a lifetime warranty, but now they won't honor it because the film turned transparent. So literally in the sun, her tint just disappeared.
Dude, we heard a guy that had to like go do this special deal and like he had to get this big amount of coating
Yeah.
and then went back to the company and said, "Hey man, we didn't need all this." They went behind his back, fuck some shit up.
Oof. Man,
Like back to the customer.
crazy.
I mean, we hear of people that buy these lifetimes like you talked about
Yeah.
3 months later, customers that they don't have any hydrophobics, nothing, like
Jeez,
starting to get staining on their paint.
that's crazy. And like
And they
look at what
paid
that does to
twenty-five
the
hundred
industry
bucks
as
for
a
a
whole.
lifetime coating.
Fuck. And
I
then
mean,
now that guy
but
goes
then
to
people are, you see it in his Facebook groups, and they're like, "Hey, so and so sent me this coating. And they promised me it's a lifetime." Like, well, you got it for free, and they're telling you it's a lifetime.
Jesus. That's
Same as you and SEO and all the
it's
websites, right?
so
Like
seeing that lens,
you
yeah,
see it from your side,
man.
we see it from our side, and we go, if you got something that cheap, it doesn't have anything in it.
Yeah, 100%. It's trash.
It's
It's
trash.
just literally trash. And that's where
Mm.
it's a sad part of the industry that like the snake oil is there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's where seeing it on both sides is like,
I
oh,
think you say snake oil, right? As you're somebody that owns a dealership, most of us say that snake oil comes from the dealership.
nah, yeah, yeah. And it, you know,
But then the same people that want to say that, hey, you can put your coating and tell this customer that it's on Carfax. Those people also buy the same product from the company that sells to dealerships and sell the same warranty. So
yeah,
all the same stuff that, right? I mean, you and
yeah,
I've talked about that. We've beat that dead horse, right?
it's true.
How many companies have then taken what was so great in ceramic coatings and
Yeah,
then just marketed the crap out of, hey, you get this warranty. Well, you get that because, these owners, they were part of this dealership chain and, they've
yeah,
scammed people for years. Oh, you can buy theirs. Really? Do I really want to do that? Are you sure?
yeah. Like no. And it's funny you say that because like so our dealership, we try and do things a little differently, and we've had to overcome those
Try
hurdles.
is a keyword.
Try. I said try. Yeah, because it doesn't always work to overcome the hurdles.
Listen, I get to the end of the day, if somebody's an idiot, you got to take their money, right? Like,
Very true, very true. But because we are different, but oftentimes the customers fight us on it because they went to look at some car down the road or something, and they were told, oh well, with it I could get this ceramic coating. They said
good.
it was
I'm glad you
different.
didn't agree that if they were an idiot, you just take the money. I'm glad you didn't agree to that. There's a lot of dealerships that agree to that.
Oh yeah, that's true. They were like, "Oh hell yeah, if they're paying, they're paying." But no, so for us, it's our dealership. It's privately owned, no banks, no nothing involved. We've got about 4.5 million on the lot. We have very particular cars there. We don't deal with the like 10,000 and under market. We rarely have cars that are even in the 10 to 20.
Yeah, you're not doing Dodge truck guy. I get it.
No, we're not. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, like a lot of people think we're crazy because it's a smaller lot. There's, I think, right now 34 vehicles on the lot right now as of today. But like we've got two Lambos, five G wagons. Like we deal more. That's kind of our market is just the more higher end. That's what we do. Now a lot of those are scheduled for export, but we'll have some. Like we've got some like X3s, things like that. But usually we stick to like the X5, X6 the M series, things like that. But we focus on that market because those customers we deal with, we've just identified as being less problematic. Occasionally, we'll have a customer that says, well, I need to get a car for, my nephew or something. I'm going to send him in. I know you guys buy stuff at auction. Just this is what he's looking for. Find something. And to keep that customer happy, who's coming to us and he just bought his, second, GLC or something. We're like, okay, we got to keep him happy. So let's take care of his nephew. His nephew comes in. He says, well, I want to get a Nissan Sentra and I'm hoping to spend 10,000 or less or something like that. We got to take care of him. So we do. But then he'll say, oh, well, I went down the road and they had something and they told me that they could put a ceramic coating on it and give me a lifetime warranty on it and all this shit. And so then we say, well, listen, they're lying to you. This is what we can do for you and it's going to be amazing. And then we tell him all the benefits and yada, yada. And he says, yeah, but they're saying lifetime. So I want you to do the same thing you're telling me, but just make it lifetime. And I'm like, I can't make a zebra giraffe. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how it works. Excuse me. What I can do is sell you something that's honest, sell you something that's going to deliver the results we're promising, but it's not going to instantly just become some fictitious unicorn that the universe has put out there in the world. And so that's what I mean by like we try. Like I try sometimes with these people. And it's just like
we have a Sparta program, and we
yeah,
have to weigh in.
mm,
Will this person do the right thing?
yeah,
Right? Is
yeah,
this person somebody that handles their customers the right way?
mm,
Like that, right?
yeah.
Like,
Well,
will they handle their people the right way?
it's true.
Then we know that they're good for Sparta. Not
Yeah.
everybody handles their customers the right way.
No, they truly don't. And that's
Yeah.
where, it's funny to say because OrbisX, we definitely handle our customers the right way every single time. But we're the only CRM, the only one that doesn't automatically approve a trial account.
Yep.
They go through a review, we check them out, we look
Perfect.
them up on
Yeah.
Facebook, everything. Not everybody makes it. Trust me. We
We
get
fail
hundreds
more
every
people
week.
at Sparta, yeah,
Yeah.
than get approved.
Hmm. I've booted some people because I was like,
Mhm.
holy crap, man. Like when they message things and they're like, yeah, I had this customer, they paid and they had their warranty, but I actually don't want to claim it on taxes. So I want to delete their warranty out of the system and this and that. I'm like, holy shit, buddy. Like, what are you doing? And I look at that and I'm like, because for me, when customers see, oh, booking form, and then they see OrbisX at the bottom, I want all of them to associate that with a good experience. I don't want them
Absolutely.
to be like, oh, this guy was a piece of shit and he's using OrbisX and then it spirals from there. You have to have integrity in the industry. So for me,
Mhm.
this started as a kind of a side pet project. I'm not in this as a primary thing in a way. I love what I do. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of other irons in the fire though. But for me, that puts me in a really unique and good position for me because I get to maintain my integrity, my values, everything like that. I'd rather tell them go to see those unable guys. They'll take care of you. Don't worry, because it ain't gonna happen over here, and that's just something I do on my side. But anyways, I've gone way past my my time here with my tips. My apologies. Last thing, rapid fire question. All right, if aliens take over tomorrow, how are you going to convince them to let you stay in business?
We watched their their UFOs.
There we go. That's a great answer, actually. That's the best answer. Yeah, for me, I was asked that question recently, and I said I'd wash a car really well, detail it, and I'd show them how well we do that and how we could add some value to the world. And I actually got this from, I was looking at purchasing a laundromat recently. Deal fell through, wasn't a good investment, but I was researching laundromats and a guy had asked that same question to somebody and he said, I would wash their clothes really well and show them how I add value. And I was like, fucking right, man. I thought it was a cool question. So then I got asked that as well, like about a month after. And I was like, fuck, you know what? Let me throw that out there.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Right on. So well done, well done. Good job on the rapid fire. But cool. So guys, listen, I'll post the ebook for you guys to download. Marshall, thanks for your time again. Please keep us updated on the Tour de France that's that's happening.
Tour de
Tour de
Tour
Sort
de
I
South
don't know.
to North America.
There we go. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Tour de Americas.
Tour de Americas. Yeah. I love it, man. Keep us posted, man.
Don't worry, I'll send them up to visit you. Yeah.
Oh, please, yeah, please, please.
Yeah.
If anyone can make it through our border, Jesus. It's-
Well, I just don't understand. I mean, he's gonna get to Texas or Mexico somewhere, and it's gonna be like, oh yeah, dude, biking in America ain't like biking in the rest of.
Yeah,
You don't just roll your bike down the highway, man. Ain't
it's
gonna
true.
happen. Like,
That's true. That's a good point. I wonder what he's. Oh,
I
shit.
don't know. Like,
Does he have a
it's,
helmet?
dude,
Yeah, yeah. Like,
asking a lot of questions.
and it's like, no, he doesn't have. Obviously, why would he have a? I hope he brought a tent or something. Shit, I don't know. That's a.
One more question that I don't know.
Yeah, there's a man. I'm filled with them. All right, we'll save it for. Give us an update next week, please. I'm dying. I can't wait for episode 2. Let's go. But cool. All right, Marshall. Appreciate your time, guys. Tune in to Pies and Polish Podcast. Next episode coming up. Marshall also has some videos out there on ceramic coating and the true lifetime of it. Check that out as well. I have a link to that video, so I will post it as well for everyone to check out. And yeah, we'll keep you posted. Yeah, stay classy, San Diego. All right, man. I'll see you. All right, ciao, nos vemos. All right, adios.